Hello everyone, welcome to another amazing episode of Ask Your Pharmacist right here on Drugnet TV. My name is Peggy Sanwo and I am your host. This show is proudly brought to you by Drugnet, your #1 online pharmacy. You can download the Drugnet app, order all your medications, have it delivered at your doorstep for a cool price. This show is also brought to you by the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, supported by Samus Pharma Limited, and thank you to our media partners, ETV Ghana and GH1 Television. Stay tuned, I'll be coming back with more information.
Are you tired of roaming for your medications and can't find them? Sick and alone and can't get anyone to get your drugs? Do you need to talk to a pharmacist? Or do you feel uncomfortable when buying certain drugs from the pharmacy? Do you want your drugs to be delivered to you at the comfort of your own home or office? Then it's time to download the Drugnet app, spelled DRUGNET, from the Play Store or the App Store to enjoy total convenience. Use Drugnet, your #1 online pharmacy. For further inquiries on Drugnet, call 024 00 24455.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. You are watching Ask Your Pharmacist on Drugnet TV. Today we are right here in East Legon, and our topic for discussion is cerebrovascular accident, also known as stroke. And our guest pharmacist for today is Pharm Cynthia Emisa. She's a pharmacist at Cindy Pharmacy. Pharm Cynthia, how are you doing today?
Fine.
Oh, you look colorful today.
Thank you.
Okay, so I know we are going to be talking about stroke. Why stroke? The need for us to be doing this today.
Okay, recently there has been a high rate of stroke worldwide, so it has become a public health concern because of a lot of death and disabilities that it is causing. That is why we are discussing the topic today.
All right, that sounds very exciting. Stay tuned.
Please, what do you know about stroke?
Oh, what I know about stroke is that is somebody who mouth pain to one side. That is another sign I know about stroke. Or somebody who is limping. That is one thing I know about stroke. But I don't know what causes. Some also says it can be physical, it can be spiritual.
Do you have any question to ask me about stroke?
Yes, I have a question to ask. That what causes stroke and what are the main signs that you will know that this is a sign or that is leading to stroke?
Okay, what causes stroke simply is that the brain cells die because there's a blockage of the arteries or a leakage or a bleeding of the artery. So it causes the brain cells to die. And when they die, where the cells die, it affects your speech, the way you talk. You can't talk, you can't raise your arm, you can't do certain things, you can't even talk properly, you can't see, sometimes you collapse. So normally there are some diseases that can help you get the slope quickly, like diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol and stuff like that. And if you don't exercise, you are very big, you eat a lot of fatty foods, they can all cause it. Pacho, you can't stroke. What you are saying?
I say I'm meeting this yarea a chiwa offside ebe ko ebe bubu and then I'm in stroke.
Pacho, what question be a baby Sammy after stroke?
But our stroke net meet Obibia now penifon qua Akola now penet meet na domania 50 going penet.
Pacho, and yet and cola nkwa anam penifon kwa timichi obia. But a touching penifo bebre, especially omo sitre yare and ase mojabrostro hypertension. And ankolanso ebi omo sickle cell yare etimichium. Can you tell me something about stroke?
Yes, I can tell you. Sometimes stroke can come by indiscipline. In the way alcoholic smoking can bring you stroke. Yes.
Do you have any questions to ask me about stroke?
Yes, I can even ask you. So what is stroke?
Stroke is simply a reduced supply of oxygen to the brain. And the oxygen is the one the blood is the one that has the oxygen and the nutrients. So when they are not there, the brain cells will die, and that will give you all the signs of the stroke.
Then, when it happens like that, what advice are you going to give to the community?
Advice is that you have to always, if you are sick, you have diabetes or hypertension, go to the hospital, take your medications, and if you don't do any physical activity, you have to be walking, exercising, you have to eat well, vegetables and fruits, you have to reduce your salt intake, and all those things will help you have a healthy blood flows and you will not get the stroke. But you need to fast stroke.
I mean, be found kakra.
But you cheche mu kakra ni ehwese stroke ye daddy.
Stroke ye bibi etumi ofa ana o body ni atimi juju. O je aso fun atimi juju. Most of the time fun juju. Me mami ebi kan no. E na me bra yere nso ebi aka no.
But you question bi abebisa me afa stroke.
Yeah, okay, my hospital and my titi near edi stroke ba. O ma cheche me about say who be a person o ka che me na me
stroke na say mo gentimi nko u brain nu mu yie. Madam, me fa cha no pay. Wo hwa e dien pa na edi stroke ba.
Oh, stroke there. Me name the credit ba mo. But my home for bebre. Even though me papa stroke here ni sabaku ni nine baku. But me name the property a ekosi sa ade pacha.
Yeah, this stroke ba ni say ya mo gentimi nko adwene ni mu yie. Esan se bi wo ha osrade e doso ana wo moja broso ana esichire yare wonum wedru ana udidi bebre wa ekese ti srade ni sisi wuntin nu mu a na esi ntin nu mu nti ama moja ntimi nko brain nu mu. Please, do you know some diseases that causes stroke?
Oh, please, no. I doesn't know.
Do you have any questions to ask me about stroke?
Yes.
What is the question?
Please, I want to ask you that what causes stroke?
Yes, some diseases like hypertension, diabetes, or bad cholesterol, a lot of fat in your system, they prevent blood flow to the brain.
What are the symptoms of stroke?
The symptoms are that you feel that you can't raise your arm, sometimes you can't speak, like slurred speech, and you can't even see properly. That are the basic signs. You can't lift your arms, or you can't do the basic things like talking or seeing. Okay, you can't raise your arm, you can't get up when you are sitting. Those are the signs of stroke. Okay, mostly it is caused by a decreased blood flow into the brain. Then the brain cells die. So where they die, that is where it affects your parts. You can't raise your limbs, you become paralyzed, sort of.
So, what measures can be taken to prevent these things?
Yes, you have to eat well. You have to exercise. If you are hypertensive, diabetes, or you have bad cholesterol, you have to take your medication regularly. Go to the hospital, let you be checked on it. And you take your medication. You eat healthy diet, green vegetables, fruits. Then you exercise. You reduce your alcohol and cigarette smoking, and you are good to go.
If you fall and hit your hit your head on the floor, especially a tiled place or a cemented place, can it cause stroke?
Yes, when the fall is so severe that it causes a trauma in the vein, it can cause that. So as soon as you fall, you have to quickly go to the hospital. We take a scan of your head to see whether it has been injured, to detect anything. So the first thing is to quickly get to the health facility and seek help.
Hey Kofi, are you coming to the party? Everyone is here.
Oh, Mido, I'm not well low and I feel too weak to go out and get drugs.
Oh, Kofi, why the hassle? You can order all your drugs on the Drugnet app.
Drugnet app?
Yes, Drugnet app. I don't stress myself any longer. I just go on the app and upload all my prescriptions or call the pharmacist on the app and my drugs are sent to me at a fee of only 5 cedis.
Wow, this is amazing. I feel better already.
It's time to download the Drugnet app on Google Play Store or the App Store and enjoy total convenience.
Drugnet, your #1 online pharmacy.
So we have a couple of questions coming in from social media, and one of our first question is, does having too much sex lead to a stroke?
Not necessarily, but mostly if you have underlying condition like hypertension, heart diseases, or high cholesterol, as you are in the process, it could raise your BP and the blood clots could get stuck in the arteries and you could get stroke, but not necessarily from the sex per se, but probably from your conditions, hypertension or diabetes. And when you are not really taking your medication, that is what will happen.
Okay, so not necessarily. The second question is, does hypertension always lead to a stroke?
Not always, when you are regular in your medication intake. If you take your medication regularly as prescribed, you will not get to the point of getting the stroke. So the whole point is that when you are diabetic, hypertensive, you have to regularly take your medication so that you won't get the stroke. It is when you don't comply with taking your medication that it can lead to the stroke.
So there you have it. Always make sure you're taking your medication just so you wouldn't end up getting stroke. Thank you.
My name is Fam Cynthia. I'll be talking to you about stroke. Stroke simply is the reduced blood flow to the brain, such that the brain is deprived of oxygen and nutrients and it dies. Some of the risk factors of stroke include hypertension, diabetes, bad or high cholesterol, and some lifestyles like excessive smoking, inactivity, or drinking, or increased fatty intake. Those are the risk factors. If you want to prevent stroke, you have to make sure if you are diabetic or hypertensive, you take your medication regularly. And if you have high cholesterol too, you have to take your medication. And if you are not exercising or you are obese, you have to exercise and reduce your salt intake and do a lot of regular exercise to prevent this stroke. But there are some people who have the stroke, they have been put on medications, but they put the medication aside and then resort to herbal or fetish people for the cure, neglecting their medication. I want to urge you all that if you have the stroke, you have to continue taking your medication. And if you want to resort to herbal treatment, consult your doctor or your pharmacist before you initiate those herbal treatments. Thank you.
Up next is Dose for Healthy Living. Don't go anywhere. Today on Dose for Healthy Living, avoid mixing. Don't mix your medications with food or drink unless instructed to by a pharmacist or a doctor. Thank you so much for watching Ask Your Pharmacist right here on Drugnet TV. This show was proudly brought to you by Drugnet, your #1 online pharmacy, and the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, supported by Samus Pharma Limited. Thank you to our media supporters, ETV Ghana and GH1 Television. Thank you for watching. We'll be coming your way same time next week. My name is Peggy Samuel. Stay tuned, be safe, and always ask your pharmacist before you take any medication. Bye-bye.